And we are live today. We have a bit crowded Scrum. Here is Craig, John, Motasem, Yaro, and me. And let's start. Well, Craig, let's start with you.
I don't have any blockers. I've just updated a pull request. I'm waiting for feedback on that. It's got some tests added that really should have been there in the first place. And as I was saying to you before this started, I've had a quick look on Pivotal Tracker for Osra. But you said that there were some stories that needed to be pulled from the icebox.
Yes, an icebox. Yes, you can see that here is quite a big amount of stories that you can find, but we need first to vote on them. Yeah, so what's your plans?
To see what's said on the pull request, and based on whether that's accepted or I have more work to do, either continue improving that or look for something else.
Okay. John?
Okay. Yeah, I have a couple of pull requests out there that I need to fix up. Brian gave me some feedback, and also I'm going to look into the new Hangouts pull request that Yaro posted. I really like the look of that, and trying to figure out how to integrate it with what I've been doing. And yeah, I definitely want to talk to Yaro before I proceed, so we can. I imagine he has some ideas on how we should do it, and I want to get his thoughts.
Okay. Motasem, so your chance. Motasem, are you with us? Oh, we don't hear you. Motasem. Do you have any problems with microphone? Just write about it. Oh, chat, let's see. No, not yet. Maybe you should go to settings and change your device. I thought you have had the same problem 2-3 days ago. No, not yet. Using headset? Motasem? No, not yet. Well, you can try Ctrl-R and Ctrl-I and try to connect again. But I think we talked to you and there wasn't any problems with microphone. Okay, we'll see. But John, Craig, you hear me, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so not on my side. No, let's look. Dun, dun, dun. Motasem is a team leader for Osra project, so it's chance. Okay, so Motasem, now.
Hello guys, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
I just reloaded the Hangout page. Okay, so not much progress has been done over the past few days. I was busy with something else. There are a couple of stories that I have to start working on. One including introducing Cucumber and Capybara tests, because currently all the specs I have are like unit tests for the models and some of the controller methods. But I found a bug recently where, like, doing some of the testing on the GUI itself led to something I did not anticipate. So I think I have to incorporate these kind of tests first. And the other thing is the part where I have to upload and parse an Excel file to fill one database table. I've looked into that. It's not very straightforward, so this is one of the things that I need help with. And because I'm using Active Admin, also, like, I have to learn Active Admin while it's not just regular. Like, I feel like they have their own, like, it's kind of a DSL language just for Active Admin itself. So it's an overhead as well in learning how Active Admin works. So these are the things that I might need help with, or like I would welcome somebody to pair with me on one of those things.
Okay. Okay. I suggest that we should vote on some stories after the Scrum. What do you think, Motos?
Sure. Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, if we have assigned some numbers, then I can start working on those as well.
Okay. Okay. Yarrow?
Yep.
Well,
hello.
Your turn.
Okay. I have been polishing the pull request I've done on the live sessions for the Hangouts. I have finished on that, and unfortunately my pull request has grown I'm waiting for feedback from Brian. I have
Brian?
done a little bit of...
Not from Thomas?
Yeah, well, no. Brian is doing the code review. Thomas sort of getting into the thing. He's doing more management work, like sorting out the pivotal stories.
Oh, I see. Okay. You have slow connection, right?
Thomas. Reason whenever John Engelbert gets on into the Hangouts, my connection just drops.
Oh.
I don't know what the secret behind it. But honestly, it's a correlation. I've been watching this, and the only time people complain I have a slow connection when John is around.
You should post the service request in Google.
No, well.
You should go on another holiday, John.
Right, so that's it. Yes, I'm waiting for feedback from Brian. I have paired with Sly, the new guy from Bulgaria. He has started some work on the refactoring the aspect, and that's it really. And today I'm going into the mountains during the night to watch the shooting stars, because now it's the season for falling stars in Tenerife.
Oh my god! I want to go with you.
Yeah, come in. I have an extra sleeping bag.
Really? So just 5,000 or 6,000 kilometers, and I can. Yeah, it's not too much actually. Okay, well, my turn. Yesterday I was really late from my work, so I cannot perform Scrum. I think Paul done it.
Yeah, it was Paul. Paul's done it.
Okay, great. For tomorrow I will make AmericasScrum, nothing else, and I want in Scrum to vote on some author project stories and maybe talk about author project, because we just have right amount of people and guys who can join with project. Okay, so Motosam.
Yes.
Word to you. What do you want to vote on?
Okay. Do we have? Okay. Can you guys let me share my screen, probably?
Well, yeah, you can share your screen. No,
Guys, just one announcement. Announcement before we start. Thomas is really keen of holding a big meeting of all the people involved in Website 1 to discuss a lot of things, and he was thinking of holding a meeting on the weekend. So we need to coordinate it somehow. So for now, just be aware. that that Thomas wants to coordinate the meeting, and if there's a particular time, let's talk about it on Slack, I guess.
Okay.
Okay. Should I go ahead?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So you guys see my screen?
Yep.
So this is the stories that need to be voted on. I guess from functionality point of view, the add as orphan list, the second story, then the third story, and the fourth story are the most important ones. There is the couple of chores, like I mentioned. I need to maybe improve the testing, add the cucumber tests as well. So I put those as chores. I think because I thought they're not functionalities related to what the client is expecting. So I did not assign them as stories. If you think they should be stories, I can also switch that. So these are the most priority ones. We can start voting on those. The other things, yeah, other things will follow. Like after I can add an orphan list. I can import orphans from an Excel file. Then the next set of stories will come where I need to relate or link a sponsor with an orphan. Then the next set of stories will be related to payments to the orphan from a certain specific sponsor. So everything builds up on the ability to import a set of orphans from Excel.
Okay, let's start discussing add an orphan list then.
Okay, so the add orphan list. So we already have partners in the application. So we have a model for partners, and I can add and modify partners. So now the next step would be for each partner, if they are active, I should have the ability to click a button or an action on that partners page to take me to a place where I can define a new list that says this Excel file came from this partner on this particular date, maybe imported by this particular user. So this is an orphan list basically. So orphan list itself is a model that needs to be stored in the database.
Sorry, can I ask a question there?
Sure. Go ahead, please.
Do you mean you've said upload and you've said import? Now, do you mean upload so that you're storing the Excel file as a file, or do you mean import so that you're parsing the file and storing some information from the file?
Okay, so the client or the customer's wish is to have both. So like they can upload a file that gets saved either on a local file system or in the database somehow, and then import the data from that file. Okay. Of course, there's a validation step in between. So after they upload it, or I mean, when they upload it, it will get validated. If it is not valid, it will not be allowed to be saved or uploaded. Once it's uploaded, they can go ahead and say import all the data in that. We can combine those two in one logical step if that's easier or if it makes
well, but in this case, we should talk about format of this Excel file. Is it a CSV file? Yes, CSV.
I have the format. They sent me a template. It's an XLS file, but like we discussed last time, I can ask them to, from Excel itself, they can say save as CSV, for example. And I found the gem to read XLS files anyway, so even if it's just in Excel format, it can be read.
So this gem can read even XLSX file?
Yes.
Even that?
Yeah.
So it unzip it and then read, right? Because XLSX file actually is zipped files.
Yeah, but I think that gem, from what I read, I did not try it. The other one I tried, yeah. So I tried one. It's called Drew, ROO, and it read XLS and XLSX, both. There is one called, I believe, like spreadsheet or sheet or something like this. That's easier just if you just want to do read only, which is in my case. I did not test it myself, but that also works with both, I believe.
There's always a possibility to save into a CSV file which can be read by anything.
Exactly, yes. So if that's the route we can take, I can ask the customer or the client. I mean, they get those files usually by mail, so it's not like the end user will upload those files. So a user of the system, who is somebody working for the organization, will get those files by email. So I can always tell them, like, first step, you take that file, save as CSV, and then go into the application and upload it.
Okay, so first we will go with CSV, right? And after that we can update our user story to import Excel and XLS and XLSX files, right?
Yeah, I can update the story to be CSV for now.
Okay, so what should we do in this story? Make model for...
I was thinking, yes, like the same partner can send, for example, 3 Excel files or 3 CSV files. So each one of those is an object that needs to be stored with its own attributes, like how many records does it contain, the time it was received. So these kind of attributes need to be saved in particular to each file. Okay. So that's a model. So I was thinking, like, we'll add another model to the application to save the files or the orphan list. It's called orphan list from a application point of view.
But do we know what columns will be in this file? Because as I understand, part of this story is to develop model of the content of this file, right?
Yes, that's another story. That's the import orphans from an orphan list. So I'm talking about 2 different stories here.
So add an orphan list is just to upload it and import
exactly. Upload it and add some metadata to that.
Okay.
So the event of a partner sending a file will be recorded based on the date and time.
Yeah, it's later. Yeah. Okay, let's vote on first story.
So for this, the add an orphan list. So this is I don't have exact specification of what needs to be stored in that model, but I believe it's just something very minimal. Like I said, maybe, of course, it has to be linked to which partner sent it, and date and time that it was received, and maybe it will have like a status, validated or not validated, or imported or not imported yet, and it will have probably some like maybe count number of records in this file, something like this.
Okay, guys, any questions regarding this? Or everyone can vote. Craig, John, Yarrow?
Yeah.
Yeah.
John, are you ready?
Yeah.
Should we wait for 1, 2, 3, or?
Well, I'll count. Okay, Yarrow, are you ready, right? John, you shouldn't be so fast, please.
I realize that now.
Do that. Yeah, delete it. Okay. Just to remind how should we vote. Everyone put the number on his keyboard, but do not press enter. Then the number from 1 to 3 regarding to the difficulty of a story. So 3 is the most difficult story, 1 is the easiest one, 2 is the middle one. And when I count from 3 to 0, and after that we put all our answers. Okay, Yarrow, are you ready? Because I don't know if Yarrow with us. Yarrow?
Yeah, he's on chat, he's ready.
Okay, great. Well, okay, then everyone put on keyboard, and 3, 2, 1, go. Correct, what does it mean? 2
like a heavy 2, a light 3.
Heavy 2, a light 3, but you should
edging towards 2, but
2. Okay.
There's detail there that we've not really fleshed out, and it's difficult to.
Yeah. Okay, it's 2. Yeah, it's great. Okay, Motasem, put 2 them.
Yeah. So this is. Okay.
And put it to backlog.
Okay. So just drag and drop, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Okay, great. And next story.
Other thing now, we got that CSV file. Now we need to import the data from. To import the data, we have to have the model ready that will accept this data. So similar to what the structure of the record in that CSV file, I need a model to mirror this data. So this is the story for creating the orphan model that will hold the data imported from each of the records in the CSV file. So this story is just to create that model with all the fields, attributes that are required. Some of the attributes will be like selection from a drop-down list or relations to other models. Some of it will be strings or dates. Some of it will be mandatory. Some of it will be optional. So I have to add validation as well on those attributes. And basically that's it. We don't need. Okay, so I need views as well. So I need a view to view and modify this model, and that comes out directly from ActiveAdmin with some small customization that can be created as well. I do not want a create new view, so because creating a new orphan will always come only from one source, which is the CSV file. There will be no screen to create a new model or to insert a new model. So this is the story.
Well,
you can see in the details of the story itself the list of the fields that I would need.
I think the most problem with this story is about testing it, because we need to provide some examples for validations, and that may be quite hard in this case. Guys, what do you think? Can we vote on it, or should we make some clarification?
I'm ready to vote.
John?
Yes, ready.
Okay. Okay, yeah, I hope you're ready to. Okay, then the same situation. Put it now can keyboard a number, but not press enter. When I count from 3 to 0, and we'll go 3, 2, 1, go. Yara? Minus. Oh my god. That's not good. Well, we split between 2 and 3. Okay, I can start why I think it's 3, because it is quite a big module that we should implement, and we should implement a lot of tests for this module, because we need to try many different cases for this validation. It's just my opinion. I'm not sure about that it's really hard or not, or even should we do all testing for it, or if we put validation and specification for validation, it may be all right, but my opinion is it should be free. Correct, Moto-san, what do you think?
I see your point, yes.
I'm quite happy to go with a 3.
Yeah, I think we'd go 3. In addition to this as well, like maybe some of the attributes that need to come from a drop-down list, like pre-specified list of values, or that are like linked with the relationship to other models. So all of this maybe complicate the
usually I can refer to enterprise things, that in enterprise models and objects created by the most experienced members, because it is very hard and very have very big influence on the next steps. So you should be careful with it. Okay,
So make it 3 for now.
Yeah, 3.
Okay. Next is the importing from an orphan list. So we created the model to get the orphan list and to get the CSV file. We have the model to save the elements of the records that are from the CSV file as orphans. I need a function or like a view and a controller method that will allow me to import all of those from that saved CSV and save them in the model table for the orphan.
So this is the second stage. I'm just not sure whether the previous one is a 3. If
the previous one is creating the model that will.
The model.
It's just the model plus the testing, of course, for that model to accept the records that are imported from that CSV file.
Okay, and what should we do in this story then? Just use gem?
There is the gem. We need to modify some of the views to add, like for example, the button to the import action. We need to have a view to say that the import has been successful, or if it failed for some reason, to give us the errors. And yeah, and then we need actually the logic to get those imported or parsed records from Excel and put them in an object and save that object in the model table, while making sure that all the validations are still, I mean, the data consistency should be still holding.
Well, fair enough. John, Craig?
I think that'll be more complicated than setting the model. No.
So you mean if that is? I was thinking it is complicated, but your rationale is that if that's a 3, then this cannot be just a single story. Maybe.
Well, but I mean, certainly it's at least as complicated. I mean, the previous thing is just model and validations, isn't it? And it's quite easy to define your tests. If you, there may be lots of them, but they should be relatively straightforward to define. There's a lot of logic going in here, and you're recording errors and then passing them on. I'm not saying it needs to be split up. It's just
at least
as complicated, I think, as the model.
Yeah, I agree. Yes.
Well, maybe, but in case, can we vote on it, or we have an? Oh, okay. Well, let's do it. Put your number on keyboard, and when 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, well, yeah. After your words, Craig, I think.
Sorry, I didn't. I'm still a bit of a novice on this. I should have kept my mouth shut.
No, it's okay. It's okay. If everyone agrees.
It makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. Motosam, do you want to vote on another story, or we can go with this one and discuss who can work on?
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it worth adding the cucumber and capybara?
Now, because I put those as chores for now, I mean, we cannot assign them weights, right?
Okay.
But you should put it in backlog.
But they need to be in the backlog.
In the backlog, yes.
And we can assign them, no problem.
Okay, I see. Okay. So yeah, I mean, there is one story that's sponsor Usra ID. That's a little bit simple story, but I'm waiting for a feedback from the customer on one of the details on how to calculate that ID. So I'm holding it off for now.
Okay.
And I think, I mean, there is the internationalization story, which is important, but we can keep it for later. So I mean, these 4 stories in the backlog will keep me busy for some time for sure. So yeah, I think that's enough for voting for now.
Okay. Okay, guys, who wants to participate, and let's discuss who can take what story, for example, or work together on which story, because now we understand what the story is about.
I can start with the orphan details, so which is basically creating the model for the orphans, because I think I'm very familiar with the data that goes in.
Mm-hmm.
I can start building that, and because also it's a base for the next story, so I cannot implement the importing without having that in place. So I can start with this. I would appreciate anyone's help in that, or I can do it myself and then submit a PR for review by everybody as well.
Okay, John, Craig, what is your ideas?
I'm quite happy to get involved. Timing for me is a problem at the moment. I'm not around at the weekend. Or,
you mean this particular weekend, or in general?
or Friday. Most weekends I'm not around.
Oh.
But certainly I would be quite happy to get involved and pair up.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But on weekend, but today is work day, like.
Yeah, I've got an hour or so now.
Okay. So, are you part of the Usra channel on Slack?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm the one that asked for the password.
Okay, so your name is.
I think I'm Purity Control.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's not your reaction. Okay.
Purity Control. I see.
Okay, that's the confusion. Okay, great.
I answer to anything.
Whenever I start, I will post the links to the Hangout that I'm working in. So if you are there and you're free.
When are you going to start?
Today is. What time is it now? Here it's like 3 p.m. I can do an hour or so maybe now. Like maybe in 10 minutes I can start a session for an hour or so.
When you can make pair session with Craig, I think.
Yeah, probably we can. At least maybe get the project set up on his environment and then start working on the model.
Okay, deal. Well, okay guys, any other questions to discuss?
I mean, was the setting up Cucumber and Capybara for testing, I think this is, if somebody with more experience than myself can start this, I would appreciate it as well.
Okay.
And I think that's something can be done in parallel without getting into the details of the functionality of the application. So if somebody does not know the details, they can do this, at least set it up and then.
If you know what you're doing in terms of the orphan details and you're familiar with that model, I mean, do you want to get started on that, and do you want me to add the Capybara gems and get that environment set up, and then we can touch base?
Maybe yes, maybe that's a better idea.
What are your thoughts, Pavel?
I think it's a better idea to start working together on orphan details, because in this case you will be involved better in this story, and start using Cucumber Capybara. You can do it whenever you want without parent, because it's not. I think better idea to start working together on that story, orphan details. You will touch the project and get involved better, and just my opinion, but yeah.
Okay. I mean, okay, so now after this meeting, like in 10 minutes, I'll start a Hangout, and you're welcome to join me, and then we can take it from there.
Splendid.
Okay.
How do you pair program?
What do you mean, how?
Well, do you Git Pong, or, I mean...
Git Pong, yeah.
Yeah,
or do you screen share? What's best? What works for you?
No, we screen share usually, but at the same time in the background we Git Pong. So like you're looking at my screen doing something, and then I ping to you, and then you give it back. So yeah.
Okay.
So we can do this.
Okay, guys. Thank you then, and see you tomorrow. I hope you will have a great parent session.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.